If you're a fan of Lego, you need this set. This is truly one of the best Lego sets I've ever done, and I'll show you why. In today's video, I'm going to be rating and reviewing the Milky Way Galaxy 31212. I am so excited to share it with you. Let's get into it. I'm kidding, it's not that heavy. I do my ratings on a number of metrics to help you figure, how the hell do I get in the frame with this? Look at how big this is. Where do I go? It's gonna go like this. You guys are gonna see this up close for a while, it's fine. I do my ratings on a number of metrics to help you figure out if this set is right for you. Skill 7 out of 10, this uses little to no complex build techniques, so that's good. It's really only so high because it's so many pieces. Aesthetics 10 out of 10, I honestly wanna give this a 15 out of 10. Look at it! It's so pretty! This might be the most stunning Lego set I've ever built. The camera doesn't do it justice, but this is phenomenal. Durability 6 out of 10. This is totally fine for normal handling. Usually I give that a 7 out of 10, but this has so many small pieces that can be popped off easily. And also, on these back here, these little green and red pieces keep popping off easy. You can actually see that one was, about to fall off. It's not really doing anything to the structural integrity, but it is kind of annoying to fix those. You can totally hang this though, it'll be fine. Value 10 out of 10, the fairest way to compare sets like this against like little sets like this guy that's like under 700 pieces is to break it down to price per brick. Sometimes price per brick can be influenced by having really unique pieces or for it being a licensed IP. Obviously, Milky Way Galaxy has no issues with licensed IP, and I don't think there's any pieces in here that would jump up the price. Normally, a set's price per brick will range from 6 to 12 cents. This one costs $199 and is 3,091 pieces, giving it a price per brick of 6 cents. It's fantastic. Time 8 out of 10. I did adjust this for the amount of pieces. I did this whole thing in one day. It was pretty nuts. Even though the bags were relatively uniform throughout, they took a little bit longer towards the end because of fatigue, and then like these last few in here that are pretty basic sped up. I averaged 390 pieces per hour. Usually I'd give that a 5, but I did this all in pretty much one sitting with 2 snack breaks. Overall S tier, you knew this was going here. This is phenomenal. It is one of the best sets I've ever built, and I'll show you why. This is a massive build. I don't think I've ever done a build with this many bags. It's truly insane. This build has 31 bags and 6 booklets. 6. This build is on a modular plate system, just like the Hokusai Great Wave, which gives this wonderful sections. Bags 1 through 3 are the frame. Because it's on a modular grid, there are 5 columns of plates that make up the art. Bags 4 through 8 are the first column. Bags 9 through 14 are the second column. Bags 15 through 20 are the third column. Bags 21 through 26 are the fourth column. And finally, bags 27 through 31 are the fifth and final column. This frame is very simple, and it's done in such a way I knew it predated the Mona Lisa. I'll show you after we snap this first column into the frame how I know this. I always appreciate when Lego thinks of securing the frame to the painting, which you see with this set. If you haven't done that set, it's a hot mess. Mine broke again and is sitting on the floor waiting for me to fix it. It needs to be fixed with a crackle, aka crazy glue. The more Lego art pieces I've done and the longer I've had Starry Night, the less I recommend it. But that set is not rumored to retire soon, so I'd recommend watching a bit of reviews and taking time to decide if you want that set. By the way, I've been doing a lot of Reddit digging and I found a comprehensive sheet with rumored retiring dates. I'll do a video on that very soon, and also a video talking about the new Lego Star Wars sets that are going to be coming out in May for May the 4th be with you. I want to get into talking about Lego news a bit, so let me know if you have any ideas for me, and subscribe to see that. Back to the frame. If you are familiar with the Lego art pieces, I knew approximately when this was released because of the frame and the build techniques. Starry Night is the first non-dot painting Lego set released. For the background, it had this odd floor-to-ceiling approach. Every other art set after that has what I call the wall-out method, where you build the background out towards you when looking at it on a wall. So I knew this came after Starry Night because of that. The release order for the other art sets are Hokusai Great Wave, Da Vinci's Mona Lisa, and finally Van Gogh's Sunflowers. So visually, here's how I could tell. The Mona Lisa and the Sunflowers use the exact same method of securing the painting to the frame. And I already knew the release order for those two. These two came right together. This is fine. These are the pieces that they use. They are very long and very subtle. They're very easy to pull out if needed. I don't know why you would need to, but they're also very hard to knock out. This one uses an entirely different method, but the stud pieces on this one, I'm just gonna grab an extra one because actually I'm not pulling it out.
5 minutes later.
Love that I have the pieces that those connect into, but not the actual one. I'm gonna show it on screen, but these stud pieces are smaller and a little bit less good of a piece to use in here. I might replace it out with that long stud piece, but I was looking online and they don't have it in black, but they do have it in a really, really dark gray. These pieces, by the way, I have it up, are called the cross axle 5M with end stop. So in case you were curious on that, that's what those ones use. Anywho, after solving the big mystery with a simple Google search, I found out it was released May 2024, which makes me super excited. First, we have a cat eruption, aka a cat interruption. Okay. I used to have my kitten in the room all the time when I build, but now she's at an age where she's fascinated by Lego, or more accurately, she's fascinated by how they fall off the table when she pushes them. So she's no longer in videos as much. Anywho, I'm super excited about this being a 2024 release because that means we might get a second painting set this year. Last year, 2024, we got this one, but in October, we got the Mona Lisa. Already this year, early, we got the sunflowers. Lego art is becoming a very popular Lego category. There's a ton of interest in Lego art, and licensing-wise, it's easy for Lego. There are not any copyrights associated with Great Wave, Mona Lisa, or Sunflowers. Even though these sets are expensive, I do see a lot of discussion on how these sets are fairly priced and fantastic builds. Plus, for someone like me who is running out of space on a brand new bookshelf, these sets are really easy to display when you can mount them directly to a wall. I've also noticed there's a lot more casual Lego fans out there, and some of you found my channel. Hi. But these sets have great appeal to the casual fan and ones like me who have a dedicated room for Lego. Originally, Lego was meant as a building block for kids, and the adult fans were kind of shunned out. Eventually, we got the architecture category, and the Lego slogan was changed to Adults Welcome. This change took place when I was a kid, and I remember occasionally seeing better and better Lego sets. This change took place when I was a kid, and I remember occasionally seeing Lego sets get better and better. I actually became a fan as an adult, but I remember seeing incredible Lego sets after the change. Before, not so much. Over time, we've seen Lego embracing their adult fan base more and more, and these sets are great for that. But one thing Lego does a really good job of is catering to all demographics. Except India. Someone left me a comment once saying that you can't buy Lego directly if you live in India, it's all secondhand. Anywho, they do a great job of making sets that are catered to everyone. For example, look at the botanical collection. I know teens, young adults, and people who are middle-aged who collect them. Looking at the sets Lego provides, I can't help but feel like they intentionally create sets with mass appeal. So developing more art sets really makes sense. And on a really small scale, I go to my local Lego store like a lot. In my opinion, those sets fly off the shelf. I'm not a casual fan, if you couldn't tell. We just started the third column with where we're at in this build. The last column had a bit of texture to it, but I'd say this column has the most amount of variety in colors and shapes. I also feel like we're doing the most amount of building up pieces on this column. I really like all the variety in pieces and the way that they're used to make the set really pop. The set has a ton of dimension going on with it, even though realistically it doesn't have that big of a difference in depth or height of the pieces. A lot of this has to do with using different pieces you typically wouldn't find in a set like this. A lot of this has to do with using a lot of different pieces you typically wouldn't find in a set like this. There's so much going on at once, which is perfect because this is intended to be a whole galaxy. I know I say this like practically every video, but really with this one, how does your brain work to create this? I kind of understand the colors and how they're mapped out, but the dimension is nuts on this, and I feel like A, it would be really hard to replicate well enough to create instructions for, and B, hard to just have all the pieces necessary to play to do this. I know there's computer programs to be able to play around in and create Lego sets, but with this one, I feel like you would just have to have the real pieces in front of you. Also, I need to apologize for the next about minute and a half. I'm not sure what happened, but I lost a chunk of footage for the top camera, so I only have my front camera and side angle going. It will return pretty shortly, but if you're wondering, that's what's happening. I know this one technically isn't a fine art piece, but I kind of count it because A, it's built like the fine arts, and B, like the fine art collection, there are listening materials available to you to listen to as you build. Of course, it's not enough to last the whole build time, it's a little under an hour's worth. And for every minute you've been watching this sped up footage is a little under an hour of normal time. I don't care how fast you build, you won't be able to build this set that fast. Unless you build this set with somebody else, which is something I actually wanted to bring up. This set is perfect to build with somebody else. Look, this set is overwhelmingly big for a beginner, so if that's you, you could find somebody else to work on this with. Since there are separate booklets and it's really easy to figure out how to snap together the tiles after, you pretty much could easily divide up and conquer this. Of course, you don't have to do that, like obviously I did this by myself, but you could do it with somebody else. I noticed right away from opening the booklet that there's a picture of a woman with headphones building it, and also a photo of what looks to be 3 separate people assembling the set, which is a subtle way of saying you don't have to build this one by yourself. I'd say most Lego sets you have to build by yourself. I just built the Fast and Furious Toyota Supra MK4, and that's definitely a solo build. Actually, I have, as of this video and including this video, 45 reviews up on YouTube. Only 6 of them I think you could do with somebody else. There are other ones, but you would need somebody to have the Lego Builder app or download the PDF instructions on a laptop or something, like the bouquets. And I've barely touched certain categories of Lego, mind you. Technics are solo builds 100%. Lego architecture is going to be solo. Most things for Lego City will be solo. Unless you're taking the boutique hotel double build, you might be able to have 2 people build that, but that's 2 separate sets. The easiest to me are the brick heads with multiple characters. Honestly, those builds are so fast though, even for a beginner, so I don't understand why you would ever split that. And those sets are so tight tiny, so the storage of them shouldn't be an issue. So I don't quite understand why you would split that, but I'm sure you would have your reasons. Also, due to the nature of how easily these are split, this is definitely one of those sets that you could absolutely just build a little bit over the span of multiple days to complete. I'm not gonna lie, doing this all in one day made my fingers hurt. I build Lego all the time and my hands have gotten pretty conditioned to the pressing. I will also use the brick separators sometimes to push in the trickier pieces, as you've probably seen me doing throughout this video. I actually use it mostly for that. I think only like once or twice during this whole build I used it to remove a piece. The majority of the time is to save my fingers. I don't think I've talked about this before, but usually when I film builds, I set aside a whole day to film. So building 2 to 3 sets in a day is no sweat for me or pain for my fingers. So if you notice me wearing the same outfits for 2 videos in a row, that's why. Actually, recently I filmed the upscaled Octane Driver, French Cafe, and Trevi Fountain all in one day. That's a total of over 3,600 pieces, so usually I'm totally fine. As I mentioned now like 9 minutes ago, this set is 3,091 pieces. I think since the set does have a bit more small pieces than normal, it was a bit much for me. Like the Octane Driver didn't have a ton of small pieces, and that was almost 700 pieces of that total. So that also might have contributed to the slowdown that was happening towards the end of the build for me. After the frame, most of the bags were about 15 to 16 minutes. It was pretty exact for a while there, but by the 4th column I really slowed down and they started to hit the 22 to 26 minute mark. Those last 3 or so bags didn't take as long because there was less pieces, so there is a chance if you split this one up between multiple days you won't have any issues and you'll actually have a better build time than me. I know this has been a long video. I'm just going to share some final thoughts and then I'll let you go on to the next video. Thank you for watching the video to this point, by the way, because it really helps me out. So my final thoughts, this is truly an incredible set and it honestly should be a bucket list set for most people. Also, for a bucket list set, this is not very expensive. I will say I've been looking up Lego retires this year and this one is not rumored to be retiring anytime soon, so you kind of have a little bit on this one to go pick it up. But with that said, please remember that this won't be around forever, so if you want it, it's not too hard of a price to swallow for what it is, so I would grab it. I just want to say thank you so much again for watching the video until this point. Like, I'm such a small channel right now that every single like, comment, view, everything, I like literally am seeing this. I am so excited to be sharing so much of my like probably biggest passion in life with you guys, and it means a lot to me that you guys are interested in what I do. If you enjoyed this video, I do a ton of videos like this, and for every single set you see behind me, I do have a review video, including the sunflowers. That one's pretty new, it's pretty awesome. Go check it out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!